what is a temporary residence based on work, and what is the difference between temporary residency and permanent residency. What are the requirements to fulfill in order to apply for a permanent residency? I will have to catch a train, so see you on the other side.
I just apparently missed the train that I'm supposed to take.
I'll see you next morning, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
En smoothie. Det var alt. Goddag. This is the Danish Immigration Center, and I'm heading in right now.
Hi folks, in this video we are going to talk about residency permit. Yes, I have recently got my Danish Permanent Resident Permit. That's a long word, by the way, so I'm going to cut short it to PR. PR is permanent residency. This PR allows me to do several things that I'm going to cover up in this video one by one. So let's get straight into the video. Okay, to all those non-Europeans out there, in order to move to Denmark and work legally, one needs to have a residency permit based on work. So that's it. You apply for a job, you get the residence permit based on work, and here you are in Denmark. And it's going to be much easier, right? Well, not exactly. To obtain a Danish resident permit based on work, an individual typically needs to meet certain requirements, such as having a valid job offer from a Danish employer, processing the necessary qualifications and skills for the job, and meeting any specific criteria related to the type of work permit scheme they are applying. This can be, for example, positive list or pay limit schemes, for example. The duration of the Danish resident permit based on work can vary depending on the circumstances. In some cases, it may be granted for the duration of the employment contract, while in other cases, it can be issued for a specific period of time, such as 1, 2, or even 4 years maximum. Having a Danish resident permit based on work allows individuals to legally reside and work in Denmark, typically tied to the specific job or employment mentioned in the application. And changing employers or job roles may require applying for a new permit or obtaining new approvals. For more information, you need to go and check New Denmark, where all the information that I'm telling you and more of these clearly mentioned. Next thing is,
I'm here at Næstved, Denmark, and I'm here because I'm getting a permanent residency here in Denmark. So the card that I have right now is a temporary resident permit. It says resident permit based on work for aliens. Aliens clearly mentioned that it is type J, which is opholds or arbejdstilladelse militarily ophold, which means it's a temporary resident permit and lasts for 4 years maximum. And I need to renew this if I want to stay in Denmark every 4 years. And I need a job for that, and I need a company to sponsor my visa. Now, a permanent resident permit, on the other hand, doesn't require a job to stay in Denmark. Card that I will be receiving is a type D card, which is opholdstilladelse tils ubegrænset, which is unlimited time period. I can't travel outside before the card arrives, so if I still have to travel to my home country, I will have to get a tilbagerejsetilladelse, which means return permit, be the same process. So I go into the immigration office here in Næstved, I give my biometrics, and then I have to get a sticker on my passport. Once that is done, I am good to come back from my home country.
what are the requirements to apply for a permanent residency? Number one, and the most important one, is Danish language examination. In order to apply for a PR in 8 years, you usually require Prøve i Dansk 2, which is PD2. In my case, I want to apply in 4 years. You still can do that, but you need to clear PD3, Prøve i Dansk 3. Plus, you will also have to clear an examination called Medborskabsprøve. If I translate this in English, it should be the active citizenship test. You should also have a full-time employment for 3.5 years. Now, PR is not just for working employees. PR can also be a process where if you are self-employed and you have been earning income and you are paying taxes for the last 3.5 years, you will still be eligible to apply for PR. To start with the PR application, you will have to go to newedenmark.dk, this website. and then you click in you want to apply, and then scroll down, you will find permanent residence. Click here and then click here. Then it will lead to a page where it says minimum processing time is 10 months for the PR, and the fee for work related PR or study is 7,355 Danish kroners, and the other fees include 4,835. Now the one that we will pay if you're applying for PR is this amount here, 7,355 Danish kroners. So how to apply? You click here. You have to start with creating an SP ID. In order to do that, you need to define what kind of a PR you are applying right now. In my case, I'm applying the permanent resident permit on the grounds of work or studies. I fill in all my personal stuffs here: name, surname, passport number, and my personal email address. And then I don't have an exemption from paying the fee. So once I fill in this information, I get to generate case order ID, which will be the ID where the immigration authorities will track for the future verification of future communication. So once we generate case order ID, we start filling in by paying the fees. So the case order ID is used to get the payment done, and then the most important stuff in this process is collecting all the documents related to apply for the PR. That will start with the application fee that you would pay right above, and then your documentation regarding the residence, housing requirements. I will have to check these two, and then my Danish PD3 examination certificate. Yes, I need them. I will need to also submit tax returns and pay slips and employment contracts. These two are mandatory, and then I will also submit documentation of my Melboscapes POIVA, which is the active citizenship examination certificates. So the rest of the checklist is not applicable for me, as I am single and I don't have any disability and I don't have any grants from the commune, the municipality, and I don't have a job outside Denmark. So with all these being filled, which is relevant, number 6, where it is based on employment or studies. So roughly it will take me 30 to 40 minutes to fill in the whole application. The application name is TU14 on an application. Once I click in this link, it will take me to another page where the whole process will start.
Okay, you are looking into the TU14 ansøgning om permanent opholdstilladelse, which means the application for getting a permanent residency. You need to fill in the background information. Why are you applying and what basis you're applying? For me, in my case, it would be I have a permit based on work and I'm applying for PR on this reason. So in here you will fill in the case ID number. This is generated when you pay the fee for processing the PR application. And below you can also see you need to fill in your Danish CPR. In here you will fill in your name, your date of birth, your CPR number, nationality, your homeland, email address, mobile number, and the personal ID that you get when you have the work permit. And once you fill in these information, the next step is to fill in the your national passport number and the expiry date. If you have been outside Denmark for a longer period of time in the last 8 years, you should say yes or no to this. In my case, I haven't been in such a long period outside Denmark, the last 4 years of my stay in Denmark. If you have passed the Danish language examination, this section is asking you to fulfill if you have what kind of job you do, and I work as a full-time employee in a company. So in my case, it's ordinary fulltidsarbejder. So I need to enter my company's information such as name, number. Have you had an annual tax liability as 309,000 Danish kroner, so 309,800 Danish kroner over the last 2 years? And if yes, you press yes here. In my case, yes, I have an annual tax liability on an average of more than 309,000 Danish kroner. The next segment is if someone receives an early retirement, or if someone has reached a public pension age. In my case, it doesn't fit, so I say no to these questions. The next question is if you receive any public help from the government. I don't receive any public help.
The next question is other conditions such as do you have a family in Denmark, and do you receive any benefits in regards to your stay. In this question it's about if you have passed the Melbourne for your the active citizenship test. I selected yes. Once I finish all these steps, I have to acknowledge that whatever information I have entered is of single source of truth. And once I acknowledge that, I also have to attach all the relevant documents that I said yes to in the first place. So once I fulfill these informations, the next stage is actually to go and give the biometrics.